Don't bother me no more then.
Let's put your 340 on the shelf for a second. When I get him back on the line, well, how would you start it off?
I would address like the conflict at this point. I would call through that bucket first as they come in, then start working top to bottom on the text. So like, let's get all those callbacks and everybody in your pipeline called as well. If they're in your pipeline, like they have for the last couple of weeks, they haven't been getting a text message either. Yeah, definitely go through all these first.
And I mean, let me ask you this. Have you already found the next house that you're moving to?
Not yet.
If the underwriters do come back, Mr. Elbert, with a number that's a no-brainer for you, when do you think you'd want to move?
As soon as I can.
Do you think you need like 30 days, 45 days?
30 days, yeah.
30 days. Cool. Well, let me ask you this. I mean, if
you're not going to beat me out of any more money, that's it. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. No, I actually don't disagree with your number. But if you work with a realtor, let's put that number on the shelf for a second. When you work with a realtor,
I know what I'm going to pay them. I know all the ins and outs already. I've already done the pencil work.
How much is it?
I'm going to come out with $220,000, and I'm tired of dicking around with y'all guys. I really am. I've been doing this for a month now.
Yeah, we're not here to do any of the dicking around, Mr. Elbert. We're here to make an offer where it's a no-brainer for you, so we can do business with you.
All right.
So, but just so I can,
you know what my number is, and that's it, cut and dry.
Mm-hmm. And how much is the realtor charging? Like, what are those numbers that you're penciling out?
I have to go get all that paperwork, and I don't feel like getting up right now.
Okay. Well, let's say she's giving you a banger of a deal. If she lists it for $399, you're not walking away with $399. You're probably going to walk in a perfect world, and $399, that means you would have to be the highest selling house in the whole area.
And it has been in the last 2 times it's been sold.
The highest selling house?
Mm-hmm. The only house in 3 neighborhoods that has a swimming pool.
Okay, let me make sure I put that note here. And where do we need to be to do business with you today, Mr. Elbert?
You're going to have to put $200,000 in my pocket after you pay the $140,000.
So you're looking to walk away with $200,000 after we pay the $140,000.
Right.
Okay. Let me do this. Let me go back there and let me see if I can drive their number up, okay?
Well, don't bother me anymore if you can't do it, so fuck it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, if they come back with something ridiculous, I'm going to let you know right away. But I don't think so because we just got a new round of funding. Just give me a couple minutes, okay? I'm going to put you on a quick hold.
Got a deal?
I don't know. He's asking way too much. Realtor's telling him. Oh, I thought I was unmuted. Realtor's telling him that he can sell the house for $399, which would be the highest selling house in the whole area. Probably not his situation. But then he dropped his price $20,000 when I asked him again, what are you hoping to walk away with? So you just got to find what's the biggest pain source. This guy, I mean, he's literally about to be underwater on his house.
Makes sense.
It's a big pain point.
They came back at $293,467.
See, why are you even shooting this to me? Because that ain't gonna give me my money back.
What do you mean by that?
I want my $200,000.
Yeah, so you're looking to sell the house for $340,000, is that right? Because that's a $200,000 plus the $140,000.
Man, why do we have to do this every motherfucking time you call me, man? I'm getting burnt out on this.
Well, don't get burnt out.
I'm gonna what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna quit talking. I'm gonna quit entertaining anything you have to say to me because you never want to do what I want to do, and I'm not gonna do anything if I can't get my $200,000 out of it after you pay the $140,000.
See, and I actually don't disagree with you.
And don't bother me no more then.
Let's put your 340 on the shelf for a second. This motherfucker hung up.
Damn.
I'm gonna call him back.
Yeah, dude.
What's up, guys? Thanks for watching my video. Hopefully it's given you a ton of value. If you guys need more value and you have a lot of questions you need answered, Join my Wholesale Hustle Academy. We got a great group, a great community where everybody's helping everybody. We meet every Wednesday for 2 hours on a Zoom. You can ask me anything. Anything from acquisitions, marketing, CRM, systems processes, of course, dispo, transactions, and everything in between. So join me at Wholesale Hustle Academy. Link is in the description, and I'll see you guys at the top.
He's like, I'm tired of dicking around. I'm like, I'm not here to do any of the dicking around, Mr. Jimmy. He didn't answer.
Damn.
This guy's actually underwater. It's one of their leads that they transferred over a couple weeks ago. This guy's underwater on his mortgage, on Social Security, can't pay his bills. He's just stubborn.
If you guys can reach out to him.
Worse and worse in Florida, and you're right on the water.
From the boy Courtney Scott, can I say that?
Yeah, hell yeah.
From the boy Courtney Scott, Alpha Media. Go fucking hit up Courtney, get yourself some fire ass Facebook leads. One in Texas, it's probably got like 15, 20 in it?
Yeah, 15 in it, I would say, if we're being honest.
15?
Yeah, no,
So it's a Kia right there.
That's 4 used dirt bikes.
Hell yeah.
That's how we price these things out. What was he saying?
He's just like, I'm driving right now. Call me back. He's a truck driver.
Was he like delivering shit, or was he just driving?
I think he was just driving. But then he said you can call me whenever you want.
Yeah. I would still try and just keep him on the line, though. Like if he said, hey, just call me back, and you're like, hey, give me just 3 minutes, and he's like, just call me back. I would say, like, do whatever you can to keep him on the line without pissing him off. But you can be like, hey, we're trying to buy a property. It's going to take a little bit of time. What if I cut that 3 minutes down to 1 minute so I can give you an offer? Like you're about ready to hear an offer on a property you want to sell, a cash offer. Like just give me 1 more minute then,
So that would have been the first hold. So hit him at like 30, at what he bought it, like 36?
Yeah, high 30s or something, I think is appropriate. The thing is, he bought it for 35. It was a long time ago, but he hasn't done anything.
Hasn't done it. Hasn't been in it in 5 years.
It's been vacant the whole time, and he gutted it.
I think he's been once, I think he said.
Yeah. This guy doesn't want to fucking deal with this.
He doesn't.
No. It's a pain in his ass.
Should I call him back?
Yeah, I'd get him on the line like ASAP.
ASAP?
And just tell him, like, hey, I went back and talked to the underwriters. Let's just stick to the process. Like, ask him 2 more questions and say they're ready for an offer if you give me 30 seconds.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Charles, it's Lewis.
Yeah.
So they're almost done with the report. They came back with 2 more questions, one of them being, if they are able to come to a number that makes sense for you, when were you looking to close?
Whenever you want.
Whenever we want.
ASAP. How's that sound?
Okay. And the last question they wanted me to ask you is there anything wrong with the foundation of the home? Like any siding missing, any gutters missing?
No, it's old block. It's the old block foundation, and there's no. It's an old house. I mean, it's just there's the foundation is just old block foundation at the house. It has no basement. It has a crawl space underneath of it. It's old cinder block foundation. Okay. As far as I know, there's nothing wrong with the foundation.
Do you know if there's any moisture under the crawl space? Have you done a check for that?
No, there's no moisture underneath the house.
Okay. Because if the home is approved and the offer is accepted, the way this is going to work is you and I will go through a 2-page agreement together via DocuSign. After that, you're going to get a call from one of our coordinators. They're going to schedule everything to get pictures of the house. We'll submit everything to the title company. They'll make sure everything's clear for title. Then we'll do a quick walkthrough, and then we head to the closing table. The last thing that they wanted me to ask...
I don't have time to run down there, babe. I mean, I'm working. You know what I'm saying? I'm interested
You don't have to go down there.
Huh?
You don't have to go down to the property.
Right.
Yeah, but we can do it remotely. We do this all over the U.S.
You're right, because I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm a contractor. Let me explain something to you. I work for the oil people. When they say go, you go. If you don't go, you don't have a contract. You understand?
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Well, I mean, it's the way it is, man. I mean, these people are tough. You know, you don't do what you're supposed to do, be where you're supposed to be, you're out. You know what I mean? So, I mean, let me know what you come up with. I'm here. I got another 3 hours to the point where I'm going to load, so you can call back if you want.
Well, Mr. Charles, I'm going to run back there. One thing they wanted me to ask is if we can get to a number that makes sense for the both of us, are you ready to move forward with an agreement today?
Yeah, but I mean, I thought 60 was more than fair because I was thinking more like 75. You know what I'm saying? So I was offered 65 and I turned it down. I should have took it. That was like during Obama. You know, so I mean, it was you know, that's what I was saying. I think 60 was a fair number. Find out. Let me know. I'll be here. Call me back.
What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to run back there. Give me 60 seconds. I'm going to put you on a quick hold. I'm going to be right back.
I'm here.
All right, he's on hold.
He owns this by himself.
Can't hear you. What?
He owns it by himself.
Yeah. He said 65 earlier, and he's like, I think 60 is more than fair. So.
I think 36 is the fairest number.
That's the fairest offer.
Dude, well, just remember everything he just said.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to go to the property. He has no fucking idea what this thing looks like. He hasn't looked under the crawl space. I mean, this thing's a fucking disaster. And he hasn't added any value. He's just depreciated it more with gutting it and not doing anything.
Mr. Charles, are you there?
Yeah.
So congratulations, because the property was approved to be purchased. And this is the first one they've approved for me in North Carolina all year this year. They approved the property. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I'm listening.
So they approved the property to buy it as is, where they approved the closing time frame to be 45 business days, where we pay all of the closing costs and there is no commissions that you have to pay. The approved offer for your property actually came in higher than I would have guessed. They came back at $36,463.
See you, bud. If you can't come close to 60,000, forget it. Okay, $35,000, $36,000. They're going by what I paid for the property. They're looking at what it sold for, and it's way past that, pal. I mean, there ain't no way I'm going to sell that property for that kind of money. No way. So if they can come close, come somewhere near what I think it's worth. Like I said before, I said 60. I'm not going to take 35 for it or 36 for it. So I guess this is over. You know, you want to tell them if they want to come realistic and make me a good enough offer, we can do business. Otherwise, don't waste my time. Thank you. Bye.
No, I hear you.
Mr. Charles, he just hung up. He's like, tell him to give me a fair offer. He said, come close to 60.
What was he saying after you gave him the offer, though?
He just laughed. And he's like, they're going by what I bought it for. And he said, if they can come close to 60, I'll do it. But if not, don't call me. And that's when he hung up.
Mm-hmm. Good, we'll call him back.
Should I call him back now?
Let's think.
Or wait like 2 minutes?
No, we can call him back ASAP. We just got a game plan for it, right? He's bitching.
I think the call dropped on my end.
It dropped on your end. But I would...
Calls keep dropping.
Hey, I would talk about you bought the property at whatever you bought it for, I don't even know. You've owned it for 4 years, I know that. Like, what have you done to improve the value of it?
Went to voicemail. I think he's just I think he said he's got a 3-hour drive right now. He's probably just sitting, but he's probably realized he's fucked right now.
He's not fucked. I mean,
he says he doesn't have the money to go back. Yeah, I'm gonna unload the clip on him right now.
But like this property, dude, even if he breaks even on it, he hasn't done anything. He hasn't put any money into it.
Yep.
He gutted it himself?
No, I think he had a contractor, because then he brought up, he's like, and every time I bring out contractors, they would tell me that it's like a year wait.
Yeah.
To get the work done.
Dude, that's all super good information to bring up.
It's a fire call.
And just tell them it's rural. You're not gonna get good contractors, and the contractors you do get a hold of, you're married to whatever they tell you, because there's no options out there. You're an hour from the nearest city.
Yeah, I'll call him back in like 2 minutes. He's probably just thinking, he's like, damn. Because he said he got offered 60 like 2 or 3 years ago, and he's like, I should have took that.
Well, tell him that was when interest rates were 2%. The market was completely different. It's done a 180 since then. It's trending down. It has been for the last 2 years. But let's not continue it and wait and have it trend down more, and then all of a sudden your property's worth less than what you paid for it. Because that's where we're headed.
I'll call him back. I'll give him like 1 or 2 minutes.
Every time I do that and I tell them what they tell me, I literally think, I'm like, all right, I'm Eric right now. Like how he's like, you already told me like that. And I do it like that too.
But Sally, you told me.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Charles, it's Lewis. I don't know if it's our phones here. I think the call keeps dropping on my end. But I went back and spoke to the underwriters, and what they brought up is, I know you mentioned earlier that when you try to get contractors out there, it was taking months or even up to a year with the electrician, and it's probably because you're in a rural area. But
look, I'm going to make it clear, okay? If you guys can't offer more than that, I mean, like I said before, you know where my number is. If it can come close to it or within a reasonable amount, let me know what it is. But I tell you what, that number that you're talking about, you can forget it. I mean, just don't even bother calling me back. Okay?
So, Mr. Charles, I went back there to fight tooth and nail because you want to sell and we want to buy. And I completely hear you, but just level with me for just a couple seconds. 60 isn't working for them, and 36 isn't working for you. Where do we need to be to do business with you today?
Make a reasonable offer. 36 is not a reasonable offer. That's what I paid for the property. Okay, believe me, I know the property's worth more than that. If the assessment is at $57,000, come on, man, be realistic.
Well,
you know
level with me, Mr. Charles. No, I hear you, but level with me. My job, they're the pencil pushers in the back. They just live and die by the formula that they follow.
I tell you what, again, make me a good enough offer, we'll do business. Otherwise, don't keep bothering me. I mean, I don't have time for it. I really don't. I'm working. You know, again, I'm not going to I'm not going to give it away. Okay. Like I said before, I'll leave the property sit and just keep paying taxes on it. It's not that big a deal. I mean, I figured I could sell that property and roll it in to another property. So, you know, if it's a reasonable offer, I would consider it. But again, if the assessment is at $57,000, why would I sell it for $36,000?
Mm-hmm.
You know, right?
No, I don't disagree with you at all.
Okay, well,
I'm not saying your number's wrong at all.
Well,
but
go back and tell them if they want to make me a reasonable offer, that it ain't going to be no $36,000. Okay, I know it ain't going to be $60,000. Okay, so you come up with a realistic number, we might be able to do business. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mr. Charles, let me ask you this. You told me earlier that you're living in Pennsylvania. You haven't been to the property in a really long time.
We could do this song and dance all day, and I'm not trying to be a hard ass. I'm just not sitting on the phone all day because I don't have time for this shit. I mean, if you want to tell them if they want to make me a reasonable, sensible offer that we can talk. Otherwise, don't waste my time.
Well, where do you need to be price-wise to walk away happy?
I don't want to sit here and rehash and talk and all that shit forever. I want to know what a realistic number is they want to offer me, and it's not going to be $36,000. They're trying to lowball me, and it ain't going to work. So, I got to get off of here. If it's tomorrow's fine, whenever. But I'm not going to sit here for an hour and talk about, well, you know, you're living in Pennsylvania and all this other shit. That has nothing to do with it. Okay, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. What we're talking about, a piece of property in North Carolina for sale, has nothing to do with my personal business. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Well, yeah,
see you.
Mr. Charles.
Where do you need to? He hung up again.
We gotta ask though, what is the most important?
He just keeps yelling on the phone. That's why I kept trying to ask him, but he's like, wouldn't let me talk.
It's like, what's most important though? Is it getting top dollar for the property? If that's the case, then you're gonna have to remodel it. Or is it convenience, where you don't gotta go back there ever again? You don't get another one of these phone calls. You don't gotta worry about fixing anything. You don't gotta worry about the crawl space, the moisture, the contractor's not showing up for a year, charging you whatever they want because you don't have any options, and you just get a check. Like, those are your options. Is it worth getting $60 to whatever $1,000 for you to go back there, do all the rehab, pay the contractors, wait a year? Or is it convenience you're looking for? Like, that's how I would dig into what he told you.
That's fire.
Like, cause it's like 60 grand, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna go there and deal with it, but you doesn't even have the option to list with a realtor. It's gonna go to a cash buy.
He said that he got an offer for 65 and the lady tried to go to the bank and they didn't do it.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll give him like 1 or 2 minutes, I'll call him back. When I get him back on the line, well, how would you start it off?
I would address like the conflict at this point. I'd be like, hey, I know you're upset. Again, I'm just trying to help you out here. I'm trying to get a deal done. And I understand your situation. But like 60,000, like you can make the most money possible on this property 100% if you put in the work to fix it up. But just like you told me, you don't live there, you don't want to go there. Contractors are taking a year. They'll charge you whatever they want because there's no options in this area. So if you want to make more money on it, like, that's the path to make more money on it. But if you want convenience and you just want to get rid of this and not have to worry about any of that and not wait a year to sell it to get top dollar, like, that's where we come in. Like, I can get them up, but you gotta reason with me a little bit. Like, I'm here for you. Like, you don't have to be upset with me. I'll do everything I can to get you your 60 grand.
Cool.
I'd pay you $1 million for it if it was worth it. That's not my decision.
771.
He's hanging up on the wrong person.
He's hanging up on the wrong person, bro.
You don't make the rules, you just enforce them.
That's all I do.
Lewis gets off on people hanging up on him. He loves it.
It's off on people hanging up in red calendars.
I would maybe take another call, do something, and then call him back. Let this guy rest a little bit. He's pretty fired up.
Oh, he's fired up right now.
Let's let him calm down. I think that's better.
What do you mean by that?
Because then if 5 million doesn't happen.
Yes, it does. What did you just say?
I said, if I do 5 million closed and funded, can I be on Tony's podcast? And he said yes.
If you do 5 million closed and funded this year, you can host the podcast.
Really?
You'll be the new host. Yeah.
Okay.
So just worry about doing that.
Stay tuned. December 31st, we'll
Make the
give
announcement.
the results.